Hi friends, my name is Maruti and I am the co-founder of Cracku. In this video, we'll be looking at the video solutions for the LRDI section of Slot-2 of CAT 2023. So try to answer the question on your own. If you're not able to get it, then look at the video solution. If you have any doubts with respect to any of these LRDI questions, please do comment below the video. I look at all the comments and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. In this question, we are told that there are 9 boxes and each box has 3 sacks. So we have to figure out how many numbers, how many coins are there in each of the sack in the 9 boxes. So let us draw 1, 2, 3 boxes in the first row, first column, 3 boxes in the first row, second column, 3 boxes in the first row, third column. Similarly, we'll put 3 boxes everywhere. 1, 2, 3. Here also 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we have been given the median for some of the boxes. The median for the first row, second column one is 9. This would imply that this number has to be 9. If you are assuming that the numbers are already in ascending order, this would immediately imply that this number also has to be 9 because this number has to be greater than the median. In the first or third column, this is 6. So this number will be greater than or equal to 6. This number will be less than or equal to 6. We are told that the median of the second row, first column is 2. So this is 2 over here, the middle number. And in the third row, it is 8. So this is 8. We have just filled the information that is given in table 1. Let us now look at table 2. Table 2 is interesting. It is telling us the number of coins in the 3 sacks, which is greater than 5. In the first one, only one number is greater than 5. This would imply that the largest number, this one, has to be greater than 5. What else does it say? It says that 2 of the 3 statements given over here are true. Now this would imply that either this is true and at least one of 1 and 2 is true. Why is this important? Because if you're looking at the information that is given over here, the first one says that the minimum number in the 3 sacks is 1. So it is saying that this number is 1. This is what the first point is saying. The second point is saying that the median of the 3 sacks is 1. So the second one is saying that this is 1. But if the median is 1, the smallest number also has to be 1 over here. Like we put 9 in the largest number over here because the median is 9. The number to the right of it will be greater than or equal to 9. So we put 9 over here. Similarly, if the median is 1, the smallest number has to be less than or equal to 1. So this will be 1. So even if 1 is true or 2 is true, one thing that we can infer is that the smallest number will be 1. And using that concept, this number we can say will be equal to 1. Why exactly are you saying this? We are saying that 2 out of these 3 statements are true. So 2 out of these 3 are definitely true. This is given by the number of asterisks over here. So this would imply that at least one of 1 or 2 is true. Now if 1 is true, the minimum number is 1. If 2 is true, both these numbers are 1. In any of the case, the minimum number over here is 1. So therefore, as at least one of 1 and 2 is true, this would imply that the smallest number in the first row, first column has to be 1. We can probably infer more, but let us first look at all the information. If you look at all the information, we can solve it faster. Let us look at the second one over here. Here it is saying that 2 numbers are greater than 5. So this is 5, this is greater than 5, this is greater than 5. That is already taken care of. And this would also imply that this statement is true. What this is essentially inferring is that this number has to be less than 5, less than or equal to 5, because that number is not greater than 5. And the minimum number is not 1, the median is equal to 9, it is not equal to 1. This is what we can infer by looking at this information. This would say that 2 numbers are greater than 5, they are the median and the largest number, that is taken care of. So the smallest number is less than or equal to 5. Now we also know that the average of all the boxes is a distinct integer. So the sum of the 3 numbers which are present in any box has to be a multiple of 3. The sum of the largest 2 numbers is 9 plus 9, which is 18. Because we want it to be a multiple of 3, this number has to be 3. Because if it is, the sum is 18. So if it is 1, the sum will be 19. If it is 2, the sum will be 20. Sum is 21 if the number is 3, so which is a multiple of 3. For 4 and 5, again, it's not a multiple of 3. So the total is 21. This would imply that the average is 7. Why is the average important? The average is important because we are told that the average number of coins per sack are all distinct integers. And we can infer that the numbers have to be, the averages have to be either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. We have already found out the box whose average is 7, that is in the first or second column. We have to figure out the remaining boxes. Let us look at the third box in table 2, this information. Here we are told that two numbers are greater than 5. So this number is also greater than or equal to 5, which is kind of known because if the median is 6, the largest number will be greater than or equal to 6. But let's just write it. This is greater than 5, which is obvious. We can actually say that this is greater than or equal to 6. And this number is less than or equal to 5. What other information do we have? We have the information that one of the three statements over here is true with respect to this box. That statement is definitely not the middle one because the median of this box is 6. It is not 1. So either the minimum is 1 or the maximum is 9. One of these two has to be true. We'll just put it over there and go to the next one. Here we are told that two statements are true and one of them is greater than or equal to 5. We know that the middle statement is false because the median of this box is 2. So this has to be true, this has to be true. This would imply that this is 1 and this is 9. And the sum is 12, so the average is 4. So it is not. This also can be crossed out. Here we are told that none of the three boxes is greater than 5. So this is less than or equal to 5. This is less than or equal to 5 and this is less than or equal to 5. Now only one of these three statements is true in this particular box. And we know that it is not the third statement because all the three numbers are less than or equal to 5. So the maximum number cannot be 9. Now again, either the first one is true or the second one is true. This would again imply that this number has to be 1, the smallest number. The smallest number has to be 1 because if the median is 1, it would imply that the smallest two numbers are 1. If the minimum number is 1, it would imply that this number is 1. In both the cases, either if 1 is true or 2 is true, the minimum number is 1. So we are saying that the minimum number is 1. This would essentially imply that this statement is true and only one of the three statements are true. So this statement has to be false. By inferring that this statement is false, we can say that this number is actually not equal to 1. This will be greater than 1. It will be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Again, we can probably infer more from this, but let us ignore it. Go to the next box. Here we are told that all three are greater than 5. So this is greater than 5. This is greater than 5. This is greater than 5. And one of the three statements is true. And that statement cannot be this one or this one. Because if all the three numbers are greater than 5, the minimum number will not be 1, the median number will not be 1. So this has to be implied that the third statement is true. So this will be 9. Let us look at the next one. Here we are told that all the three are again greater than 5. So this is greater than 5. This is greater than 5 and this is greater than 5. Again, the first and the second one will not be true in this particular box. The third one will be true. So this is 9. 9 plus 8 will be equal to 17. We need a third number. Adding 17 to it should get us a multiple of 3. That number has to be 7. Because 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 24. Any other number, whether it is 6 or 8 or 9, if you are adding to 8 plus 9, you won't get a multiple of 9. What is the sum of 7 plus 8 plus 9? That is 24. So the average is 8. So this is 8 over here. So we can cancel 8 also over here. Let us look at the next one. Here we are told that two numbers are greater than 5. So this is greater than 5. This is greater than 5. And two statements are true. If two statements are true, the first thing that you can infer, is at least one of the first statement or the second statement is true. And this is a very important concept because like we discussed multiple times, if either one of the first or the second one is true, the minimum number has to be 1. So this number is 1. Now we have this number is actually greater than 5. So the median is not equal to 1. This would imply that the maximum number, this one has to be 9. Now we are looking for a number which is greater than 5 such that if you add 1 plus 9, that is 10 to it, you are getting a multiple of 3. So that number has to be 8. Next, if you are looking at the next one, here we are told that all the three numbers are actually less than 5, less than or equal to 5. And two of the three statements are true. Now, two of the three statements are true would imply that the third one is false because all the three numbers are less than 5. So the maximum number cannot be equal to 9. So this one has to be true, this one has to be true. So this is 1 and this is 1. Now this is what we are able to infer by immediately looking at it. Now let us try to figure out certain things. What are the numbers that we have been able to eliminate? The averages we have found out for the different boxes are 4, 7 and 8. Which of these boxes will have, and this actually is 6, that also we have identified. 9 plus 8 plus 1 is 18, so this is 6. Which of these boxes will have an average of 1? Which of these boxes will have an average of 9? If you're looking for an average of 9, all the three numbers have to be 9. The only possibility is this one. So this will have to be 9. There is no other box which is remaining such that all the three numbers are greater than 5. Because in this particular case, we have found out that the three numbers are 7, 8 and 9. Its average is 8. There is no other box where all the three numbers are greater than 5. So here we got 9. Which of these boxes will have an average of 1? Here we want all the three boxes to be less than 5. So it has to be either this one or this one. Now if you're looking at it, we know that all the three numbers have to be 1, but in the middle box over here, we know that the middle number cannot be equal to 1. It has to be greater than 1. Why is that the case? Because if you remember, in this middle box, only one of the three statements is true. We know that in the middle box, this number is false. The maximum number is not 9. All the three numbers are less than or equal to 5. So either this one is true or this one is true. Like we discussed earlier, if any one of the two numbers are true, it would imply that the smallest number has to be 1. So we know for sure that this number is true. And because only one of the three statements is true, the median cannot be equal to 1. So this has to be greater than 1. And therefore the average cannot be equal to 1. If the average is 1, all the three numbers have to be 1. This would imply that this is 1 and this is 1. So this is equal to 1. So this also is cancelled. Now the only three averages we need to find out are 2, 3 and 5. So the sum of the three numbers in the three sacks has to be either 6 or 9 or 15. What are the three boxes which are remaining? The three boxes which are remaining are this one and this one. If you're looking for a sum of 6, it cannot be this box because the middle number itself is 6. It cannot even be this box. Why cannot it be 6? Because we already have 1 and we have a number which is greater than 5. The sum of these two itself is greater than 6. So the sum cannot be equal to 6. The sum will be equal to 6 only over here. And if the sum is equal to 6 over here, the only possibility is that it is 1, 2 and 3. Why is that the case? Because we have three numbers. We know that this number is 1. We know that this number is greater than 1. And this number will be greater than the middle number. So if the median is equal to 3, for example, the last number has to be greater than or equal to 3 and the overall sum will be greater than or equal to 7. So the median has to be 2. If the median is 2, the sum of these two is 3. Therefore, the third number has to be 3 itself. That is the reason it has to be 1, 2 and 3. 2 is also cancelled. Now we have only two averages which are remaining, which is 3 and 5. If it is 3, the sum has to be 9. If it is 5, the sum has to be 15. Which of them will be 9? Which of them will be 15? We know that this cannot be 9 because the middle number is 6. The large number will be greater than 6. So the sum itself is greater than 12. So this has to be 9. So this will be 3, the average, and this average will be 5. If the average is 3, it would imply that the sum has to be equal to 9. And if the sum has to be equal to 9, two of the statements are true. So the largest number cannot be equal to 9. If the largest number is equal to 9, the sum will be equal to, will be greater than 9. But we want the sum of these three numbers to be equal to 9. So this is true. This is false. So these two have to be true. So the median has to be 1. And therefore the largest number has to be 7. If you're looking at the only case remaining of this one, the sum of the three numbers has to be 15. And we know that only one of them is true. Now that one statement is not the middle statement because the median is 6, median is not 1. That statement will not be this one also. Because if the largest number is 9, 6 plus 9 itself is equal to 15. Therefore, the smallest number has to be 0. That is not possible. So this also is false. So this will be true. So this will be 1. 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. So this will be equal to 8. And the average of these three is equal to 5. Let me clear some of them so that we can go ahead and answer the questions that follow. Now let us go ahead and answer the questions that follow. What is the total number of coins in all the boxes in the third row? The averages are 8, 6 and 1. That totals up to 15. Into 3 will be 45. So the answer is 45. You can just sum up all the numbers in this particular row. You'll get 45. How many boxes have at least one sack containing 9 coins? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. For how many boxes are the average and median of the number of coins contained in the three boxes the same? it is not the same over here, it is 1 and 3. It is not the same here, it is 9 and 7. It is not the same over here, 5 and 6. It is not the same over here, 2 and 4. It is the same over here. So we have 2 and 3, this one, 2 and 2. It is the same over here. It is 9 and 9. It is the same over here. It is 8 and 8. It is not the same here. It is 8 and 6. It is the same over here. So we have a total of 4 such boxes. How many sacks have exactly one coin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. In how many boxes do all the 3 sacks contain different number of coins? That is the case here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In this question, we are told that there are 5 firms. Let us call them A, B, C, D and E. Each of them was started in 1 year and ended in 1 year. The first year it raised 1 crore and the year it closed also it raised 1 crore. And in the middle it raises more money. The money will increase by a step of 1 crore or 2 crores. And after reaching a peak, it will also start decreasing. And again, it will decrease by 1 crore or 2 crores. So it will end up with 1 crore on the last year of its existence. We are trying to figure out what is the total amount raised by each of these 5 firms in every single year. Let us start with the first firm, which is A. A started in 2009. Then there is 2010. Then there is 2011. Then 2012. Then 2013. Then 2014. Then 2015. And there is 2016. The total money raised by them is 21 crores. In the first year, it raised 1 crore. In the second year, in the last year, it raised 1 crore. The number of years in the middle, this is 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015. There are 6 years. And in the 6 years, it raised 19 crores. So 19 crores were raised in 6 years. What is the amount raised in 2010 and 2015? Here it can be either 2 crores or 3 crores. Here also it can be either 2 crores or 3 crores. So let us consider one case, which is an extreme case. Let us assume that 3 crores were raised in 2010 and 3 crores were raised in 2015. What does this imply? This implies that in the middle 4 years, these 4 years, the amount of money that it has to raise is 13. And because it raised 3 crores in 2010 and 3 crores in 2015, it would imply that the amount raised in 2011, 2012, 2013 and 2014, all of them have to be greater than or equal to 4. This would imply that the minimum amount that is raised is 4 into 4, which is 16 crores. So this case is clearly not correct. So you can't have 3 crores raised in 2010 and 3 crores raised in 2015. Let us consider the next case. Let us consider that 2 crores were raised in 2010 and 3 crores was raised in 2015. Or the other way around also we can consider, that is 3 crores were raised in 2010 and 2 crores were raised in 2015 can also be considered. But basically you are only going to get the reverse of this whatever money was raised. So we'll first consider this case and then we can consider the other case. We are considering the case over here where in 2010 they raised 2 crores, in 2015 they raised 3 crores. So what is the total amount that they have to raise in these middle 4 years, that is 2011, 2012, 2013 and 2014? The total amount raised is 21. We were able to account for 7, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. So we are required to account for 14 crores. So in these 4 years in the middle, we have to account for 14 crores. And now we can say that each one of them is greater than or equal to 3. 3 into 4 is 12 crores. So there seems to be no contradiction over here. So let us try to figure out a way in which we will have 4 numbers over here, which will add up to 14. We will have 3 over here. This is the number in 2015. And we will have 2 over here. This is the number in 2010. So the minimum possible number in 2011 will be 3. Then we will have 4. Then we will have 5. And then it will again decrease back to 4. This is the least possible sum in which the number in 2010 is 2 and the number in 2015 is 3. And this is adding up to 3 plus 4 plus 5 is equal to 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. So this also we can prove is actually not possible. So the only case that is remaining is that they have actually raised 2 crores in 2010 and 2 crores in 2015, and in the middle 4 years they have raised 15. Let us clear all of this so there is no confusion. This is the only case that is remaining that is possible. Now what we have to essentially do is account for the remaining 15 crores in the middle 4 years. Over here in the middle 4 years, you have to account for 15. So every year you essentially need 3.75 crores. So again, let us do the same thing that we have done over here, here, here and here. These are the 4 numbers that we need. The number in 2011 will be either 3 or 4. The number in 2014 also will be either 3 or 4. If you assume that the number in 2011 and 2014 is 4 each, this will be 4 plus 4, that is 8. So the middle 2 numbers have to add up to 7 because the total has to be 15. This is not possible because the middle 2 numbers will actually be greater than the 2 numbers at the extreme. Let us now look at the other case where it is 3 and 4. That is, one of the numbers at one extreme is 3, one of the numbers at the other extreme is 4. So the middle 2 numbers, they have to add up to 8. Is it possible to have 2 numbers which add up to 8? They have to be either 3 or 5. But this is not possible. Or 3 and 5 also it's not possible because we will have 2 3s. And 4 and 4 in the middle also is not possible because we will have all the 3 numbers over here which are being the same. Because we are told that no firm raises the same amount of money in 2 consecutive years. This would imply that the only possibility is that they have raised 3 crores in 2011 and 3 crores in 2015. Because the graph of funding should go up and after that it should come down. It should not remain constant at any time. Now that middle 2 numbers, they have to add up to 9. Middle 2 numbers have to add up to 9. They can be done in 2 ways. It is either 4 plus 5 or it is 5 plus 4. So this is one case. And the other case is 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the way in which we distribute for A. What about B? B we know started in 2012 and ended in 2015. So this is 2012, 2013, 2014 and 2015. He will start off the first year with 1, he will end the last year with 1. In the middle, we can distribute it in 2 ways. Either he raised 2 crores and 3 crores in 2013 and 2014, or he raised 3 crores in 2013 and 2 crores in 2014. These are the possibilities for B. Let us look at C. If you are looking at C, we just know that he started in 2013, this firm, so he raised 1 crore. And the total money he raised is 9 crores. So whenever he ended over here also, he would have raised 1 crore. We just don't know which year he ended. So in the middle, he has raised 7 crores. How many years are possible in the middle? It cannot be 4 years. Because then the average will be 7 by 4, which is equal to 1.75. But we know that all the years in the middle, the amount of money raised is actually greater than 1 crore. So it has to be at least 2 crores. So if it is 4 years in the middle, the minimum amount that is raised in those 4 years will be at least 2 into 4. It will actually probably be more than that, but the minimum will be at least 2 into 4, which is 8 crores. So it cannot be 4 years. Let us see if it can be 2 years. If it is 2 years over here and the sum has to be 7, the only real possibility is that it has to be 3 and 4. But then the jump from 4 to 1 will be a drastic jump of 3 crores. We know that the jump can be either 1 crores or 2 crores. So this also is not possible. This would imply that the only possibility is that there were 3 years in the middle, 1, 2 and 3. So this year will be 2014, this will be 2015 and this will be 2016. The sum of these 3 years has to be 7. Sum of 3 numbers has to be 7. The only possibility is that they are 2, 3 and 2. You can figure out if any other possibility exists. You will realize that no other possibility exists. This is the split for C. What about D? For D, it started in 2011 and it ended in 2015, 2012, 2013, 2014 and 2015. In the first year it is 1, in the last year it is 1. In the middle 3 years, it has to raise 8 crores. So we have 3 numbers over here. The sum of these 3 numbers has to be 8. We have 1 to the left and 1 to the right. If say this is equal to 3, the sum of these 2 numbers has to be equal to 5. The only way that is possible is if the 2 numbers are 3 and 2, but then you will have 3 repeating 2 times consecutively. This is not possible. This would imply that this has to be 2, and the only possibility is that the sum of 2 numbers over here has to be equal to 6. So the only possibility is that this is 4 and 2. That is the split for D. Let us look at the split for E. E started in 2010. It started with 1. And the sum of all of the funding that is raised is equal to 13 crores. So you have 1 at the start, you have 1 at the end. In the middle, we have to account for 11 crores. Now, how many years can be present in the middle? All the numbers in the middle are greater than or equal to 2. So the number of years in the middle can be either 5 or it can be 4. Can it be 3? If there are 3 years in the middle, then and the sum is equal to 11, that also is possible. That will be 3, 5 and 3. This will total up to 11. So this is one split if there are only 3 numbers in the middle. So this is 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013 and 2014. This is 1, this is 3, 5 and 3. This is if there are 3 years in the middle for E. This is the only possibility where 3 numbers are actually adding up to 11. Suppose there are 4 numbers in the middle. If there are 4 numbers in the middle, you have the sum of 4 numbers and you want them to be equal to 11. If this number is equal to 3, you have the sum of 3 numbers to be equal to 8. Can we actually do that? If you have 3 numbers which are actually equal to 8, if this is 4, because that has to be at least 4 if the preceding number is 3, you want the sum of 2 numbers to be equal to 4, that is not possible. So if you have 4 numbers which should add up to 11, and if you have this number which is equal to 2, the remaining 3 numbers should add up to 9. And we know that there are 3 numbers which add up to 9. They are 2, 3 and 4. So the way this can be split is, this is either 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, or it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1. These are the 2 cases that are possible. So in this case, there will be 4 numbers in the middle. This is 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014 and 2015. This is 1, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 2, 1. Or this is 1, 2, 4, 3, 2 and 1. These are the 3 possibilities with respect to E. Only for E, we are not able to calculate how many years it was actually in existence. For everybody else, we are able to actually calculate the start year which was given and even the end year. Let us go ahead and answer the questions that follow. For which firms can the amount raised by them be concluded with certainty in each year? It is not E like we discussed earlier. We don't really know even the end year of it. We know the split for D. We know the split for C. This is for D. This is for C. For C and D, we are able to figure it out. For B, there are 2 cases possible. And for A also, there are 2 cases possible. So the correct answer is only C and D, which is option B. What base can we conclude about the amount of money raised in 2015? For A, it is 2 crores. For B, it is 1 crore. For C, it is 3 crores. For C, it is starting from 2013. So this is 2016 will be over here. And this is 2017. Okay. For C in 2015 is 3 crores. For D in 2015 is 1 crore. For E in 2015 is either 0 crores or 1 crore. So the total money raised is 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, which is 7, or 8 crores. So the answer is either 7 crores or 8 crores, which is option C. What is the largest possible total amount of money in crores that could have been raised in 2013? If you're looking at the maximum amount that can be raised by all the companies together in 2013, let us look at that particular case. So in 2013, A raised either 4 crores or 5 crores, so the maximum is 5 crores. B in 2013 raised either 2 crores or 3 crores, so the maximum is 3 crores. C in 2013 raised 1 crore. D in 2013 raised 4 crores. E in 2013 raised either 3 crores or 4 crores. So the maximum will be 4 crores. This will be the maximum, which is 5 plus 3 plus 1, which is 9 plus 4 plus 4, which is 17 crores. If E raised 3 crores in 2013, so it has to be either this one, this particular case, or this particular case. There are 2 cases possible, either this one or this one. Okay. Then what is the smallest possible total of money raised by all the companies in 2012? Again, we look at the minimum possible money raised by all of them. For E, the minimum possible in 2012 over here is 4 or 5. So because we are looking at the minimum, it is 4 crores. For D in 2012, it is 2. For C in 2012, it was actually not in existence, so it is 0. For B in 2012, it is 1. For A in 2012, it is either 4 crores or 5 crores. We are looking at the minimum, so it is 4. 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 11 crores. Let us look at the last question. If the total amount raised in 2014 is 12 crores, then which of the following is not possible? Let us try to calculate how much money was raised by all of the 5 companies in the year 2014. A raised 3 crores for sure, this is confirmed. B raised either 2 crores or 3 crores. C raised 2 crores. D raised 2 crores. E in 2014 either raised 1 crore or it raised 2 crores. So the total raised by A, C and D is 7. By B and D, it will be either 3 or 4 or 5. We are told that the total amount raised is 12 crores. The only possibility is that B raised 3 crores and E raised 2 crores. This would imply that the case we are looking for B is B has to raise 3 crores in 2014. So this is what we are discussing. This is the only case that is possible for B. And for E in 2014, we want E to raise 2 crores. So this would imply that these are the 2 cases we are looking for in E. The first case, this case doesn't exist for E, because in 2014 we want E to raise 2 crores. Then which of the following is not possible? Now we are looking for something which is not possible. B raised the same amount of money as E in 2013. How much did B raise in 2013? B raised 2 crores. And how much did E raise in 2013? E in 2013 either raised 4 crores or 3 crores. So there is no way the amount of money raised by B is equal to the amount of money raised by E. So the option which is definitely not possible is option E.
Google search Cracku free cat mock. Click on the first link. You can attempt a free mock test which was attempted by 30,000 cat aspirants in the actual exam format. After completing the test, you get detailed solutions, analysis and percentile along with your scorecard to gauge your All India performance. Click on the solution to get video solutions from our expert faculty.
In this question, we are told that there are 3 participants, Akhil, Bimal and Chatur. Let us call them A, B, C. They have participated in a random draw competition on 5 days, and in each day they secured a score which is from 1 to 9. Now we have been given some information, and based on this information we have to figure out which person got which score on which day. So let us first draw a table. The table is going to have 4 rows and it will have 6 columns. It will be something like this. Here we will write A, B and C. This is the score on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 and day 5. We have been given the moving average of the score on day 2, it is 15. This would imply that the sum of the total scores on day 1 and day 2, this sum is 30. The moving average of day 3 is 15.5. So the sum of the scores on day 2 and day 3 is 31. The moving average of day 4 is 16. So the sum of these two is 32. And the moving average on day 5 is 17. So the sum of these two total scores is 34. So if you assume that the total score on day 1 is say A, the total score on day 2 will be 30 minus A. Let me clear this. We can actually add one more row so that it becomes even cleaner. So if you are drawing another row, this will represent the total. The total of day 1 and day 2, like we mentioned over here, is 30 because the moving average is 15. The sum of these two is 31 because the moving average is 15.5. The sum of these two is 16, so this will be 32, the sum. And the moving average on day 5 is 17, so this will be 34. So if you assume that the total score on day 1 is A, the total score on day 2 will be 30 minus A. The total score on day 3 will be 31 minus of 30 minus A, which is A plus 1. total score on day 4 will be 31 minus A. And total score on day 5 will be 34 minus 31 minus A, which is A plus 3. This is the first information we have. We are also told the rankings of the 3 students across the 5 days. We'll use that later. Let us look at the clues that are given also. One of the clues that we are given is that the total score on day 3 is the same as the total score on day 4. What does this imply? It implies that A plus 1, which is the total score on day 3, is equal to 31 minus A. Or if you simplify, 2A is equal to 30, or the value of A is equal to 15. So this is 15. This is 30 minus A, so this also will be 15. This is A plus 1, so that will be 16. This is 31 minus A, so this also will be 16. This is A plus 3, so this will be 18. Once we are done with this, let us look at the clues that we have used up. The clues that we have used up are, this clue is completely used up. We are told that Chatur scores are always in multiples of 3. So Chatur scores, that is, this will be either 3 or 6 or 9. These are the only 3 multiples of 3 between 1 and 9. His score on day 2 is the unique highest. So this score is the unique highest score in the competition. So most likely this will be 9. Can we say for sure that it is equal to 9? It is either 3 or 6 or 9. His score on day 2 is the unique highest. So most likely it is either 6 or 9. But we can actually say that this is 9. Why can we say that this is not equal to 6? Because if say this is equal to 6, then every number which is in all the remaining cells have to be less than 6. Because this is the unique highest score. If it is less than 6, let us look at the scores in D5. The sum of these 3 scores is 18. If all of them are less than 6, the sum will not be equal to 18. So at least one of the scores has to be greater than 6. And using that fact, we can conclude that the highest score of Chatur cannot be 6. Highest score of Chatur has to be equal to 9. We are also told that his minimum score is observed only on day 1. So the minimum score of Chatur will be 3 on day 1. How can we say that it is not equal to 6? Because if it is equal to 6, his score on D3, D4 and D5 will also be equal to 9. Because he got his minimum score only once, and that was on day 1. So that minimum score has to be either 3 or 6, and because he got it only once, that has to be only on day 1. This would imply that on the remaining days, he cannot get either 3 or 9. So he has to keep getting 6. Remember what we are essentially saying. He got his highest score only once. He got his lowest score also only once. And on the remaining 3 days, he has to get the same score. So his highest score will be 9, his lowest score will be 3, and on the remaining 3 days, he is getting 6. His minimum score is observed only on day 1, and it matches Akhil's score on day 4. So Akhil's score on day 4, this also is equal to 3, which is the score of Chatur on day 1. So Bimal's score on day 4 will be 7, which is 16 minus 6 minus 3. Bimal's scores are the same on day 1 and day 3. Bimal's scores, if this is equal to x, on day 3 this also is equal to x. Can we figure out what is the value of x? If you are looking at the rankings over here, in day 3, Chatur got the highest, which is actually equal to 6, and the score of Bimal and Akhil is the same. If Bimal scored x on day 3, Akhil also will score x. So 2x plus 6 will be equal to 16, or the value of x will be equal to 5. So we can conclude that x is equal to 5. So this is equal to 5. This is equal to 5. This also will be equal to 5. Therefore, Akhil's score on day 1 will be equal to 7. Now we are left with the scores of Akhil and Bimal on D2 and D5. What is the score of Akhil on D2? The sum of the score of Akhil and Bimal will be equal to 6, because Chatur scored 9. And amongst these two, Akhil scored higher. Akhil's rank was 2, Bimal's rank was 3 on day 2. This would imply that Akhil scored either 4 or 5. And in both of those cases, Bimal would have scored 2 or 1. Similarly, if you are looking at D5, Bimal scored highest. He actually scored higher than Chatur. And the score of Akhil plus Bimal will be equal to 18 minus 6, which is equal to 12. So Bimal either scored 7 or 8. In which case, Akhil scored either 5 or 4. Why can't Bimal score 9? Bimal can't score 9 because the highest score has been achieved by Chatur on day 2 and that is the unique highest score. So Bimal cannot score 9 on any of the days. Similarly, Akhil cannot score 9 on any of the days. These are the cases that are possible. If you think about it, there are 4 cases possible. 4 and 5 scored by Akhil on day 2 and 4 and 5 scored by Akhil on day 5. With this information, let us go ahead and answer the questions that follow. What is Akhil's score on day 1? Akhil's score on day 1 is 7. Who attains the maximum total score? The maximum total score of Chatur, we can actually calculate the score of Chatur. It is 3 plus 9 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. This is 18 plus 12, which is 30. What is the total score of all of them? That also can be calculated. It is 15 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 18. 15 plus 15 is 30 plus 32 is 62 plus 18 is 80. The total score is 80. So the score of Akhil plus the score of Bimal will be equal to 50. We can also individually calculate the ranges for Akhil. Akhil scored 7 plus 5 plus 3 on 3 days for sure. That is equal to 7 plus 5 plus 3 is 15. And here he scored 4 or 5 and 4 or 5. So in D2 and D5, Akhil will score either 8, which is 4 plus 4, or 9, which is 4 plus 5, or 10, which is 5 plus 5. We don't know Akhil scores on D2 and D5. But on the remaining 3 days, Akhil scored 7 plus 5 plus 3, which is equal to 15. So Akhil's overall score is 23 or 24 or 25. Similarly for Bimal, on 3 days we know his exact score. This is 5 plus 7, which is equal to 17. And on D2 and D5, he scored 2 or 1 and 7 and 8. So his maximum will be 10. His middle will be 9 and his minimum will be 8. So his total score is either 25 or 26 or 27. But again, we know that the sum of the score of Akhil and Bimal in each of these cases will add up to 50. That also is known. We just don't know how much Akhil scored in total, how much Bimal scored in total. But we know that Akhil and Bimal definitely scored less than Chatur because Chatur scored a total of 30. So the correct answer is option D. What is the minimum possible total score for Bimal? The minimum possible total score for Bimal is 25. If the total score of Bimal is a multiple of 3, it has to be equal to 27. If that is equal to 27, it would imply that he scored 8 on day 5 and 2 on day 2. This would imply that Akhil scored 4 on day 2 and 4 on day 5. What is Akhil's score on day 2? It is equal to 4. If Akhil attains a total score of 24, okay, if Akhil attains a total score of 24, okay, over here, what is the total score of Bimal? The total score of Bimal will be 26. How can we say that? Because we know that the total score of Akhil plus the total score of Bimal is 50. If Akhil is getting 24, Bimal has to get 26. That is the easiest way to do it because we know that the total score of everybody is 80. This is 15 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 18. We definitely know that Chatur scored 30. So the sum of the scores of Akhil and Bimal will be equal to 50. If Akhil scored 24, Chatur scored 26. So the answer for this question is 26. In this question, we are told that there are 3 people, Anjali, Bipasha and Chitra. They visited an entertainment park which has 4 rides. The rides start at 9 AM and they end at 5 PM, except ride 3 which ends at 1 PM. The cost for each of the rides is given. For ride 1, the cost is 20. For ride 2, it is 50. For ride 3, it is 30. And for ride 4, it is 40. We are also told that at a particular time, only one person can take a ride. And then we are given some information. Using this information, we have to figure out at what time each of the 3 people took which ride. So let us write Anjali's rides here. Let us write Bipasha's rides in the middle and Chitra's rides at the end. This will be Anjali. This is Bipasha. And this is Chitra. Now we are told that Chitra never waited in a queue and completed her visit by 11 AM after spending 50 rupees in the ticket. So for Chitra, there are 2 cases possible. Either she did only one ride from 10 to 11 and that is ride 2 which cost 50 rupees alone, or she did 2 rides, one from 9 to 10 and another from 10 to 11, and these 2 rides are ride 1 which costs 20 and ride 3 which costs 30. So either it is 20 plus 30, which is equal to 50 rupees, or it is 50 rupees alone. These are the two possibilities with respect to Chitra. Let us look at the next clue. Anjali took ride 1 at 11 am after waiting for 30 minutes for Chitra to complete it. This gives us a lot of information. The first thing it tells us is that Anjali did her ride from 11 to 12 in ride 1. This also tells us that Chitra did ride 1 because Chitra was doing the ride and Anjali waited for her ride to finish for 30 minutes. So this case is not true with respect to Chitra. It would also imply that Anjali reached the entertainment park at 10:30 am. Chitra was already doing ride 1, so she had to wait. This would imply that from 10 to 11, Chitra did ride 1. And therefore from 9 to 10, Chitra did ride 3. So this is completely taken care of. Let me clear this. So this clue is completely used up. There is nothing we can gain by looking at this clue. We know that Chitra spent 50 rupees. She did 2 rides from 9 to 10 and from 10 to 11. They are ride 3 and ride 1. That is completely done. Anjali took ride 1 from 11 am after waiting for 30 minutes for Chitra to complete it. This also we have already put into the table. So nothing can be gained by looking at it. It is the only ride where Anjali waited. This has some more potential. So we will not strike it out. Bipasha began the first of her 3 rides at 11:30 am. So Bipasha took the first ride from 11:30 to 12:30. Which ride is this? We don't know. We just know that it is not ride 1 because ride 1 was being done by Anjali at that time. But other than that, we can't really infer anything about it. All the 3 visitors incurred the same amount of ticket expense by 12:15 pm. What is the total amount spent by Chitra by 12:15 pm? Chitra finished her rides at 11 am and she spent 50 rupees in total. So the total money Chitra spent by 12:15 am is 50. This would imply that Bipasha was riding ride 2 because she also had to spend 50 rupees by 12:15 pm and she was riding only one ride. Her first ride started at 11:30 pm. So the only possibility is that she was riding ride 2. Now if you are looking at the same extension for Anjali, to ride 1, how much did Anjali spend? Anjali spent 20 rupees. This would imply that she has to spend another 30 rupees or she had to take ride 3. When can she take ride 3? For Anjali, one possibility is that she took ride 3 from 9:30 to 10:30 am. Then she waited for ride 1 to finish by Chitra and then she did ride 1 from 11 to 12. But that is not possible because Chitra was doing ride 3 from 9 to 10. So the only possibility is that Anjali did ride 3 from 12 to 1. This is ride 3. And this also we have completely used up. The last ride taken by Anjali and Bipasha was the same. Now we know that Anjali did not wait for any ride to finish. So if she has taken another ride, the last ride taken by Bipasha, can it be ride 3? That can't be ride 3 because ride 3 gets over at 1 pm. So this would imply that Anjali had to take at least one more ride. So she took one more ride from say 12 to 2. Where Bipasha waited for 30 minutes for Anjali to complete her ride. Before standing in the queue for that ride, Bipasha took a 1-hour coffee break after completing a previous ride. So just by assuming this, we know that Bipasha did 3 rides. Now, if Bipasha did 3 rides and she also had a coffee break for 1 hour and she also waited for 30 minutes, what is the possibility? Is it possible that Anjali did only 3 rides? That is not possible because if Anjali did only 3 rides, her rides will get over at 2 pm. So this would imply that Bipasha's last ride has to start from 2 to 3 and she waited for 30 minutes before it. So she was waiting at this ride from 1:30. Then she took a 1-hour break. So she was taking her break from 12:30 to 1:30. This would imply that Bipasha did only 2 rides. But that is not possible because we are told that Bipasha did 3 rides over here. So this would imply that Anjali has to take 4 rides. From 1 to 2 one ride and from 2 to 3 another ride. Whatever is the ride that she took over here will be the ride Bipasha would take from 3 to 4. If this is ride X, this has to be ride X. Now, why are we saying that Anjali's rides are from 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 3? Because we know that Anjali did not wait for any other ride. She only waited for her first ride, that was at 11 to 12. After that, after finishing one ride, she was immediately doing another ride. So what is the value that X can take? Now, X cannot be 2 because Bipasha already rode ride 2. X cannot be ride 1 or ride 3 because Anjali already did ride 1 and ride 3. This would imply that X has to necessarily be ride 4. So this will be ride 4 This also is write 4. So the only gap for Anjali, this has to be write 2. Now what about Bipasha? Bipasha did her last ride from 3 to 4. She waited for 30 minutes for this ride. So she reached the entertainment park at 2:30 p.m. She took a coffee break for 1 hour. So her last ride finished at 1:30 p.m. This would imply that her second ride started at 12:30, finished at 1:30. What can this ride be? This ride is not ride 3 because ride 3 finishes at 1 p.m. This is not 2 or 4. So this has to be ride 1. With this information, let us go ahead and answer the questions that follow. What is the total amount spent on the tickets by Bipasha? Bipasha did ride 2, which is 50 rupees. Ride 1 is 20. And ride 4 is 40. So she spent 110 rupees in total. What were the rides? Which were the rides that Anjali completed by 2 p.m.? Anjali completed ride 1, ride 3 and ride 2. So 1, 2, 3 she completed, which is option B. Which ride was taken by all the 3 visitors? Chitra took ride 3 and ride 1. But Bipasha did not take ride 3. Chitra took ride 1, Bipasha took ride 1 and Anjali took ride 1. So the only ride taken by all 3 of them is ride 1. How many rides did Anjali and Chitra take in total? Anjali took 4 rides, Chitra took 2 rides, so in total they took 6 rides. What was the total amount spent on tickets by Anjali? Anjali took all the 4 rides and they cost 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50. This is equal to 140 rupees.
We at Cracku provide all the previous year CAT papers along with many other MBA examinations such as XAT, SNAP, MAT, CMAT, TIS and PGDBA in the actual exam format. You can attempt them as a test and get a detailed analysis of your performance or download them as PDFs.